Hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin, check. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to Golden Blue today, everybody. This is a college football channel. So if you like college football, hit the like and subscribe button. It's that simple. Also, send gear to represent your team and be a part of my background forever. All you have to do is send it to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. So the kids are back in school, so that means I'm going to be in school lines more, which means you're going to get more car videos. But some of these have actually turned out pretty good. On the other hand, some of them have been flops. So I'll let you be the judge once again whether this is a good one or whether it's a bad one. You know, at first, whenever I heard the announcement of Wren Baker being announced as the new athletic director at West Virginia, I really didn't care. I didn't think much into it. I didn't think it was a splash hire. But after talking to several fans and several news outlets and doing some research of myself, this is actually a pretty good hire. Wren Baker is a graduate from Oklahoma State. He actually served as the athletic director at Oklahoma State as well, and Oklahoma State had a ton of tremendous success with him as athletic director. Then he moved on to North Texas, and he's done an even better job at North Texas. North Texas is at an all-time high when it comes to football. They renovated their stadium, and it looks really good, and he helped make sure that North Texas was part of the move to get North Texas out of Conference USA and into the AAC. He did not want to see North Texas remain in a dying Conference USA, so he made sure that North Texas was a part of that group. So this is actually a pretty good hire. What concerns me is how much power he's actually going to have, because what I heard was that the new athletic director was going to have the power to determine the future of the college football program here at West Virginia University. That's what I heard. That's what I understood. Well, now what I'm hearing is that decision was already made, because he doesn't even take office till December 19th, and we already know that Neal Brown is going to be staying through the 2023 college football season. So are they kind of not giving him enough power? Is he not going to be able to make those big-time decisions? What was the purpose of firing Shane Lyons if you're still going to keep Neal Brown? I thought that was one of the main points, one of the main reasons why we fired Shane Lyons, to get rid of Neal Brown. Also, on top of that, I heard that Shane Lyons was not using the football budget properly. I don't know where the rest of that money was going, but he was not using the budget to the football program to its fullest potential. So maybe Wren Baker can straighten that out as well. Because we all know that the biggest problem here at West Virginia is the coaching. We are not paying our coaching staff Power 5 money. Therefore, we're getting Group of 5 staff. If you pay Group of 5 money, then you're going to get a Group of 5 staff. And I'm not saying that Neal Brown deserves Power 5 money. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we need to go out and get a Power 5 coaching staff and pay them Power 5 money. Because even if you go out and get that diamond in the rough and they start having success at West Virginia, eventually you will have to pay them Power 5 money in order to retain them. We saw two examples of that. The first one was Rich Rod. The reason Rich Rod left is because he asked for a raise that he knew West Virginia had, and West Virginia said, no, we're good, see you later, we think we can take it from here. And of course, West Virginia has never been the same. The second example is Dana Holgorsen. Dana Holgorsen also asked for a raise that he knew West Virginia had, and West Virginia said thanks but no thanks. I am thankful that West Virginia said thanks but no thanks, because Dana Holgorsen didn't deserve that raise. But the point is, those two coaches knew that West Virginia could afford those raises, and they asked for it, and West Virginia said no. Are we going to be like this forever? Is West Virginia satisfied with being mediocre? Listen, I'm out here on the front lines. I'm out here being a West Virginia fan, promoting a YouTube channel, talking West Virginia all the time, talking with other fan bases, other YouTube content creators, and I get laughed at, I get joked on, Golden Blue Doo, because West Virginia is terrible. Golden Doo Doo is what some people call me, because of how bad West Virginia is. Not because of me, because of West Virginia. So I'm out here on the front lines, supporting West Virginia, waving the West Virginia flag, but you guys are not throwing me a bone. Now, West Virginia basketball is looking really, really good this year. So that is a bright spot in West Virginia athletics as of right now. Our only loss was to Purdue, and I do think that Purdue is a Final Four team. They look legit this year. I know West Virginia lost by 12 points, but basically that was because Purdue went on a run to end the game. For the entire game, it was a close game. West Virginia never had the lead. I will say that. West Virginia never had the lead, but it was a close game. West Virginia made some runs, closed it to within 3 or 4 points, but it turns out Purdue ended on a run, so they win by 12. But then after that, Purdue absolutely annihilated number 8 Duke by 20 points. So that was a good showing for West Virginia against Purdue. And then, of course, we absolutely blasted Florida. So I think West Virginia will make the tournament, and I think West Virginia is a solid Sweet 16 team this year. But it's the football program that has me in distress right now, and it's the football program that makes me look like a joke. Because it's football that's the main product of this YouTube channel. It's what I talk about the most. So if our football program looks terrible, guess what? I'm the one that gets dumped on. So do something. Help me out. I'm trying to promote West Virginia and give West Virginia a voice, but if you don't throw me a bone, then all it's going to do is create a lightning rod, me being a lightning rod, for people to make fun of. You have to help me out, West Virginia. In the offseason, this could be a rocky offseason because I'm hearing Bryce Ford Wheaton, he's foregoing his senior year. He's going to enter the NFL draft. I do think that's a mistake, but I can't really blame him. I'm hearing a lot of recruits that were supposed to sign on early signing period day. They're not signing early. We could lose a lot of recruits because of this. And just like in the past, I do think the transfer portal will hurt West Virginia once again this year. It might be worse than usual. We already have Mumu Benwan in the transfer portal and Charles Woods. I heard some rumors that C.J. Donaldson could enter the transfer portal. And every year we already have players that enter the transfer portal. This year, it could be really, really bad, guys. This is bad news. Now, I'm hearing that Gallagher, our highest recruit that we've had since Tavon Austin, he's still holding steady, but still, that's not a guarantee. I mean, we have to turn this around quickly. One thing that I will say, one bright spot in the football program for West Virginia, what I'll say about this is, I think part of the agreement for Neal Brown to stay at West Virginia was he has to fire some coaches. And we're talking about the defensive side of the ball. I think the offensive side of the ball is pretty much fixed. It needs to get a little bit better, but we went out and got Graham Harrell. Graham Harrell's done a pretty good job. Our offense is, without a doubt, much better than what it's been. Now, does it still have some issues? Yeah, we had 3 games where it looked absolutely terrible. But overall, our offense is much improved. It's just our defense took such a massive step backwards, it really didn't matter. We needed to have a top 5 offense to get to a bowl with as bad of a defense as we had. Just to get to a bowl, we would have needed a top 5 offense. Our offense went from in the hundreds to in the 40s as far as scoring offense. Our defense went from the 50s to the hundreds. So a big step back on defense. And we saw the gradual decline after Vic Koenig was let go. It went from elite top 10 down to the 50s in 2021, down into the 100s in 2022. So Jordan Leslie has no business being the defensive coordinator at West Virginia. Why we didn't promote Jamil Adai, I have no idea. That would have been a home run hire. Everywhere he goes, he attracts high-caliber athletes. Basically, high-caliber athletes follow him. He goes from one place to the other, and the best athletes from the program that he was at, they follow him to the new program. He went to Miami, and Miami's defense has gone to elite. Yes, Miami had a down year, but it was because of their offense. Their defense is actually pretty good. Another thing that we should have promoted to defensive coordinator was Tony Gibson. I mean, look at what he's doing over there at NC State. What were we thinking promoting Jordan Leslie to defensive coordinator? That was a stupid call by Neal Brown. So we need to have a good defensive coordinator. Jordan Leslie is not cutting it. Hopefully, Neal Brown fires him because I think that's part of the conditions. You're going to have to do it if you want to retain your job at West Virginia. And we need to recruit physical. We need to recruit some size. One of our biggest problems on defense was tackling. One of the biggest issues with tackling was size. We had a bunch of small dudes out there. And I know, small dudes can pack a punch as well. We've had a bunch of small dudes in the past that have been great tacklers. But when you get a bunch of small dudes together, that's a whole different story. You know, I was excited about our defense heading into this season because we went out and got Marcus Floyd from Murray State and Jasir Cox from North Dakota State. And all of them had a bunch of accolades from the FCS. But the problem is they were FCS size. I didn't take that into account. Well, we definitely paid for it. Our defense was nowhere even close to being good. And tackling was laughable. What they're teaching over there, I have no idea. They're teaching arm tackling, and that's not going to do it, especially when you have small guys. If you have small guys, people are going to run over them if they're trying to arm tackle. So a bunch of turnover is expected on the defensive side of the ball, and we'll see if we can go out and make another splash hire on the defensive side of the ball. I'm just hoping that Ridden Baker has some power because looking into his credentials, he's actually a pretty good athletic director, and everywhere he's went, not only have they had success, but they've taken a step forward. For North Texas, they've had success, and he allowed them to get from Conference USA to the AAC. When he was at Oklahoma State, they went from being a laughingstock to being competitive year in and year out. Believe it or not, Oklahoma State used to be one of the worst football programs in the nation, outside of that little stretch with Barry Sanders. Overall, they did not have a good football program. So wherever he's went, they've had success, and they've gotten better on the football side of things. So hopefully they give him the full reins of the program and allow him to make decisions. But as far as the Neal Brown decision, don't believe what you're hearing. That was not his decision. That decision was made before he was hired. I mean, he doesn't even take office until December 19th, so that tells you something. So hopefully that changes because whoever's making the decision about Neal Brown, they have no idea what they're doing. So y'all let me know in the comments section, what do you think about this new hire for West Virginia at the athletic director position? And do you think he can help West Virginia just like he helped Oklahoma State and North Texas? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.